What's going on, guys? It is Bernardo, and today is all about configuring the hydration kit for deployment 2022 edition. The last time that I touched this particular topic was on 2019, so I'm super excited to do this for you guys, so let's get right into it. All right, first things first, I'm doing everything within Server 2019. Yes, I should have upgraded my machine, but you know what? It's already up and running, so I did not want to create a new one. So, first things first, within the desktop, I created a folder 2022 hydration kit. And within this folder, I created these folders and I downloaded all the exe files that I needed to deploy successfully the hydration kit. Now, the next thing that I did is within the C drive, I created a folder setup, and I'm going to be using the setup folder here and there, but you typically do not need it. Now, first things first, we are going to install the Windows ADK. And I'm going to go inside the hydration kit and go inside the Windows ADK 11 folder and double click on the ADK setup. From here, you're going to get the wizard, and I'm going to click next here. From here, allow Microsoft to collect insight for the Windows kit. I'm going to say no, click next, click accept. I'm going to leave all the default options as is, click install. It's going to start installing all the features, and once it's done, you're going to get this. We're going to click on close. And let's go inside the hydration kit and open up the Windows ADK WinPE. Double click on the ADK WinPE setup file. You're going to get the wizard. So from here, I'm going to click on next. I chose no, click next here, accept the license and terms, click install. It's going to start installing the features, and eventually you're going to get this. So we're going to click on close. Next thing that we need to do is install MDT. I went inside the hydration kit again, went inside the MDT 8456 folder. I'm going to click on the 64-bit MSI file, so double click on it. It's going to launch this. Click next here, accept the license and terms, next, next. I don't want to join the program at this time. Click next here, install. It's going to start copying, installing the files, and you're going to get this, so click on finish. Again, let's go back inside the hydration kit. We're going to be going back and forth inside the hydration kit as well as that setup folder in the C drive. And within inside the hydration kit, we're going to locate the MDT 8456 hotfix folder, and there is a exe file. We're going to double click on this exe file. I'm going to click OK here. Extraction completed, click OK. And it basically gave you two folders at x64 and x86. So we're going to go inside the 64 folder, and there is a DLL file. And this particular file, we need to go into this particular path, and we are just going to copy and paste that file inside this folder, and we're going to replace the file. So just make sure you click on replace the file in the destination. Once you're done, we're going to go to the 86-bit folder, grab the x86 DLL file, and then just move it over to that particular location and replace the file inside that destination. Next thing that we need to do is deal with the configuration manager 2203. So again, let's go inside the hydration kit, double click on that exe file, and we are going to change the location where we want to unzip the folder. Once we do that, we're going to unzip it, and I'm going to click OK and close. So it basically extracted about 4 stuff, which is the auto run, language pack, SMS setup, and the splash file. We're going to go inside the MSS setup folder. Inside there, we're going to double click on the bin folder. And here, we're going to go inside the x64 folder. Within here, I'm going to hold the shift key and right click inside the folder. And we're going to pick on Open PowerShell Windows here. And we're going to run the following command. We're going to hit enter. It's going to give me the configuration manager setup downloader. We're going to click browse, and within browse, I'm going to go inside my 2022 hydration kit, config manager 2203 folder, and inside there, I'm going to create a folder called updates. Now, you don't really need to call it updates. You can give it whatever you want. It's up to you, but most likely we're going to download the prerequisites for config manager 2203. So once you do that, click OK and click on download, and it's going to download the 49 files that it needs. Once it's done, it's going to close that dialog box. And if you go inside the updates folder or whatever name you gave that folder, you're going to see all the CAD files that was downloaded. These files, we are going to move them pretty soon, so don't freak out. Now, within the hydration kit, we're going to go into the SQL Server 2019 Express. There is an exe file. We're going to double click on that, and it's going to take us here. We're going to click on Download Media. We're going to change the download location. So I'm going to go inside the C drive, setup folder, and inside there, I'm going to create a folder called SQL Server 2019 Express, and I'm going to copy that path and just change the download location. And then we're going to click on download. It's going to start downloading the media. Once it's done, you're going to get this. We're going to click on close and then hit yes here. Let's go back inside the hydration kit, and there's a folder called hydration kit, and there is a zip file. So we are going to right click on it, and I am going to select 7-zip, and I'm going to extract the files. And I'm going to change the path of where I want to extract it. I'm going to drop everything in the folder that's inside the C drive called setup. And I'm going to click OK. Now, you don't really need to do that. You could drop it anywhere. It's up to you. I dropped it inside that folder. Now, inside setup hydration kit, we're going to hold the shift key and right click inside that folder. And we're going to open PowerShell Windows here. We're going to run the following command, and this is going to create the path and the share name of our new MDT deployment share. We're going to hit enter. Now, I received an error because the core requirements is you need to have at least 50 gigs of space. So I made some room. I ran the command again, hit enter, and everything was created for me. Awesome. So click on start, open up the Microsoft Deployment Toolkit folder, click on the deployment workbench, and then from here, open up your deployment shared folder, click on your hydration kit config manager node, and click on applications. You're going to see everything that's going to install and get configured during the deployment. Also click on operating systems, which we need to grab our operating system, so don't worry. So let's deal with the operating system. So within the hydration kit, there's a folder called Windows Server 2022 Standard. I downloaded the eval version of this operating system. There is a PowerShell script in there, so we're going to select that PowerShell, right click on it. I'm going to open that PowerShell script with Notepad++, and we need to make changes to the following lines, 5 through 9. I made changes to 5, 7, and 8. I basically just changed the name of the ISO. Once you do that, save the file. Go back inside the Windows Server 2022 Standard folder, which is inside the hydration kit, and I renamed the ISO to the following, Windows Server 2022, because that's what I gave it within the PowerShell script. Within the C drive, I created a folder ISO. Again, because of the PowerShell script, there was an ISO folder, but you are able to make modifications to fit your environment. And inside this ISO folder, I just basically dragged and dropped that ISO into there, because that PowerShell is going to be looking for that folder and that file. Once you do that, we are going to hold the shift key, and inside the Windows Server 2022 Standard folder, where the PowerShell script is at, we're going to right click on it, and we're going to click on Open PowerShell Windows here. We're going to run the following command to export the WIM image that we need. So hit enter. It's going to start running, and eventually, once it's done, you get this. So let's go back inside the C drive, and we're going to go inside that REF folder. Again, that RE folder was created within the PowerShell script. So if you changed it to whatever you want, go inside that folder. It created the WIM image that we need. Now this WIM image, we need to move it. We need to go inside our deployment share, operating systems, and within operating systems, there's a folder called WS 2022. So just drag that WIM image in there. Next thing that we need to do is locate that ISO of your Windows Server 2022, open it up, and go inside Sources, go inside SXS. You're going to see the Microsoft Windows .NET 3.5 CAD file. Now this CAD file, we're going to move it over into the following path, which would be your DS, your deployment share, operating systems, WS 2022, sources, and then inside sources, you're going to go inside your SXS folder. Drag it and drop that CAD file in there, and you're good to go. Within the hydration kit, we're going to select our ADK11 and our ADK WinPE, and we're going to go inside the setup folder, which is located in the C drive, and we're going to drag those two folders. Technically, you don't need to do this, but I just setup folder is kind of lonely, so why not? Let's use it. Now we're going to go inside the Windows ADK, and we're going to hold the Shift key and right click inside the folder, and we're going to open up the PowerShell windows here, and we're going to run the following command, and we're going to hit enter, and you're going to get this dialog box. So I'm going to leave it as the default. Click next here. I chose no. Click next. Accept the license and terms. It's going to start downloading the features. And once it's done, you're going to get this dialog box, and we're going to hit close. So basically, you should have the installer, the exe file, and an XML file that was downloaded inside that folder. So let's go inside the WinPE folder, do the same thing, hold the Shift key, right click inside that folder, and we're going to pick Open Windows PowerShell here. And you're going to run the following command, hit enter, and you're going to get this dialog box. So click next here. I pick no, click next. Accept the license and terms. It's going to start downloading the features. And once it's done, you're going to get this dialog box. So just click on close. And again, it's going to download an installer folder with a bunch of files as well as that XML file. Now let's go inside the DS, which is our deployment share, and inside there application folders. And it's time for us to start dragging and dropping all the exe files that we need to deploy our applications successfully. First one that we're going to tackle would be your install BG info. So from here, we're going to double click on it and go inside sources. And let's go inside our hydration kit. And within there, we're going to open up our BG info and locate the bginfo.exe file and just drag that exe file over to sources. Good. The next one that we're going to deal with is the ADK. Go inside ADK 11, sources. Go inside the setup Windows ADK inside the C drive. Select all these three files and just move them over to your deployment applications. Install Windows ADK 11 sources. Basically, we're just dragging and dropping into our application folder that's located within our deployment share. Next thing that we need to do is, again, let's go inside the Windows PE. Inside Windows PE, sources. Go inside the setup folder, Windows PE. Copy these three files and then move them over to your deployment share. Next thing that we need to do is deal with the SQL Server 2019 standard. Go to sources, and we need to drag a couple of files in here. So within our hydration kit, open up the SQL Server 2019 standard. You're going to see the exe file. So we're going to double click on that. Click on download media. And from here, we're going to switch the down location to the following and click on download. Once it's downloaded, you're going to get this, and we're going to close it, hit yes. It's going to download an ISO. So wherever you dropped it, we need to take this ISO, double click on it, and all the files inside the ISO, we need to copy them into our deployment, share, applications, install SQL Server 2019 standard, and inside that folder, open up sources and copy these files in there. Now, inside sources, we're going to create a folder called updates. And inside updates, we need to download the latest patch for our SQL Server 2019. Now, the latest one right now is KB506394. So I clicked on download. It downloaded the file. So I'm going to click on the arrow, click on show in folder, and it's going to take me directly where that exe file downloaded to. So I'm going to take that exe file and move it inside that updates folder. Now let's go inside applications folder, install SQL Server Management Studio, and we need to drop the source files in here for MDT to install it for us. So go inside the hydration kit. Inside the hydration kit, there's a SQL Server Management Studio and there's an exe file. So just copy that exe file over to this particular location. Now, next thing that we need to do is take care of the SQL Server 2019 reporting services. And inside there, there's a source folder, so double click on it, and we need to drag and drop the exe file. So again, open up your hydration kit, go inside SQL Server 2019 reporting services, and then copy this exe over. The next thing that we need to do is deal with the configuration manager. And inside the configuration manager, there's a folder called sources, and in here, we need to drag the following. So again, go to hydration kit. Inside the config manager 2203, we need to copy the auto run, language pack, SMS setup, and the splash file. So just move them over. Now, once you're done, go back up, and there's a folder called prerequisites. Double click on it, and we need to copy the CAD files that we pre-downloaded earlier. So go inside that updates folder where updates for me because that's what I gave it. Copy all these CAT files and just move them over. Time to do the install MDT. So within MDT folder, so go inside the hydration kit, MDT 8456, and I'm just going to copy the MSI 64 one over. Boom. Done. The next one that we have to deal with is the SQL Server 2019 Express. Inside that folder, there's another folder called Sources. We need to drop that exe file that we downloaded earlier. So go inside Setup, SQL Server 2019 Express, and then copy that exe file over here. Now open up your MDT workbench, and we are going to go to Advanced Configuration. Click on Media. We're going to click on Media 001. You got to understand all this stuff is already done for you. And we're going to right click on Media 001, and we're going to update our content. And it's going to start updating and creating the ISO that we're going to use for our deployment. Once it's done, you're going to get this. So click on Finish. And within my testing environment, I'm actually using Hyper-V. And as you can see, I only have one virtual machine up and running right now, and that is my router, which is providing internet to these machines. But when I run a particular script, which is this script right here, which is inside the hydration kit, this is what is going to create the virtual machines for me and also mount the ISO that we're going to need to start the deployment. So if I hold the Shift key, right click inside this folder and pick Open PowerShell Windows here, and run the following command, right? This command is calling out that lab VMs for Hyper-V and is doing a parameter of VM location. I'm going to drop it in the E drive, the VM network. This is the network that I'm using, and it is calling out that ISO that we created together. Cool. Hit enter. It's going to start creating all the virtual machines that you need. It created all the virtual machines that we need. It created the domain controller, the configuration manager, the MDT, the DP, and a file share. Now, if you go inside Hyper-V Manager, you're going to see the new virtual machines that were created. If you select one of them, such as the DC1, and you right click on it, go to settings, you're going to see it actually configured everything, you know, with all the requirements that you need, the memory and the processor. So for the DC, by default, it gives you 2 gigs, which is great. And the configuration manager, if you right click on that and go to settings, it gives it 16 gigs. So make sure that your machine that you're going to house these guys has enough memory, because 16 gigs is a lot. And then with the file share and the MDT, it just adds on. And that's it, guys. That is how we set up the hydration kit for 2022. Super exciting. At the end of this video right now, stay tuned. You're going to see like a fast-paced kind of thing going really fast of me actually deploying the domain controller. That's the first thing that you need to tackle, is the domain controller. Later on, hopefully, I'm going to do another video deploying the configuration manager so you guys can see it. And that's it. Hopefully you guys enjoy, and stay tuned for the fast video. Don't go anywhere, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.